What's up guys, in today's video I'm going to go over negative and fractional indices 1.4. So the first rule that you need to know is a to the power of 1 over m is equal to the square root of a by m. So basically it means that a to the half, for example, would be the same as the square root of a. That's the first rule. The second rule is that a to the n divided by m, both of them are in the power, right? Is equal to the square root of, or the root of m, a to the n. So basically the n is with a in the root, and then m is on the outside. We'll look at it in a second. A to the minus m is 1 over a to the m, and also a to the 0 equals 1. So, here we are. Let's do some questions. 81 to the power of 3 over 2. So we're going to use this one here. A to the n over m equals the square root of a to the n, and the root is m. So, using this, we can say that the square root of 81 to the 3 squared, we can rewrite it as this. And this will give us 729. And do you want to know what or how I knew that? Well, it's because we can actually do it a quicker way. We can just square root 81 by 2. So basically this is a quicker way to do it. We can just square root 81, and as it's to 2, you don't need to write it. We get 9, and then once you get that, you then do it to the power of the numerator. Do 9 to the 3, and that will also give us 729. So if you're in a non-calculator, if you're in an exam and you don't have a calculator, this is a way you should do it. You do 81 and then square root by the denominator, and then do the numerator, or to the power of the numerator. The second question is 3x to the 0.5 times 4x to the minus 0.5. Now we've looked at this in 1.1. The way to solve these is you do the whole numbers first. You times these. So 3 times by 4 is 12. Now we look at the second part. X to the 0.5 times x to the minus 0.5. We looked at this in 1.1. If we're multiplying two things basically, and we have the same base, we have the same x here. When we multiply them, we add them. So what's 0.5 add minus 0.5? It is 0. So you get 12x to the 0. And we have the rule here. Anything, so a to the power of 0 is 1. This applies here. X to the 0 is just 1. So it's just 12 times 1, which is just 12. So there we go, that was our final answer. Simplify x brackets 2x to the minus a third all to the power of 4. That looks very, very scary, but we can quickly and efficiently do this. Okay, so firstly, the way to do this is, let's just consider this here, 2x to the minus a third all to the power of 4. As we're multiplying by x, we can just focus on this. Because the x is not going to be involved in this, it's not going to play any part in this until we've finished simplifying all this, made it look nicer, and then we can now multiply by x. So 2x to the minus third all to the power of 4. So we can use our 1.1 rule that a to the m all to the power of n is a to the mn, and also the rule that a m all to the power of n is a to the n m to the n. So basically this means that this will end up being 2 to the 4 times x to the minus a third times by 4. And minus a third times 4 is minus 4 thirds. And now we can just simplify to get x we know that 2 to the 4 is 16, right? So we can just rewrite this as 16 x to the minus 4 thirds. Okay, now we can deal with this x now. So we have an x, and then we have another x to the minus 4 thirds, so we use our rule from 1.1. If we have the same base and we multiply them together, the powers will add. This is x, which is the same as x to the 1. So if we multiply together, we get 16 x to the 1 times add to minus 4 thirds. We get minus 1 over 3. Now we're almost done. That was quite a lot. 16x to the minus a third. We can use our rule here. A to the minus m is 1 over a to the m. So because we're multiplying these together, we can kind of also, like before, we can split this up. We can say 16 times 1 over x to the third. See? X to the minus third is just 1 over x to the third. And finally, we can simplify, because basically the 16 here is the same thing as 16 over 1. This is basically how I'm going to explain it. It's 16 over 1. 16 is the same as 16 over 1, right? And when we're multiplying fractions, we just multiply the numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator. So we get, as a final answer, I'll write it here, 16 over x to the third as our final answer. Or, this is another way to say or because we know that a to the 1 over m is the square root of a by m, right? We can also rewrite this as 16 over the square root of x, and then as you see 1 over 3, so in this case m is 3, so therefore we can say here 3. And then you have it. So we have this, or this, both of them will be acceptable. So there you go guys, that's negative and fractional indices 1.4. I'll see you in the next video.